like that? You 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 like that?
What's going on? It's Coach Williams, and I am back for another breakdown. So today we are going to talk Eagles defense going up against the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes' ability to escape the pocket and make magic. So I think that this is a huge factor in this game, Mahomes' escapability. So it's very important on defense to have rules to keep him in the pocket. But he's going to escape sometimes. So you've got to have some rules and a plan B for when he does. So let's talk about what the Eagles do when quarterbacks break the pocket and see if they can have some tweaks. So they come out here in quarters coverage. We've talked about quarters before. And you know it's quarters because the safety has the ability, if he reads run, to be able to get downhill. They're running this power pass concept here. It's play action. So safety steps up, realizes that it's pass, starts to get deep. Okay? So very important. Fields breaks the pocket. It's important to keep a roof on the defense. It's important for the defenders, the deep defenders here, to stay deep. Okay? Deeper than the deepest when the quarterback breaks the pocket. That's the first thing. The next thing is you've got to be able to contain. The ends have got to contain the quarterback. But defensive ends, as we'll see when we're watching this video here, they want to get upfield. They want to attack the quarterback. We talked about how Bosa is super disciplined in last week's talks when we were talking about the NFC Championship game. But that's an anomaly. Most guys are not going to choke off the rush. They're going to run and attack the quarterback, and that's going to create lanes if they don't get there. So now you're asking this defensive tackle, this big monster here, to try to keep Fields in the pocket. That's not going to work. Well, now if we look here, we've got two linebackers in the same area, right? Covering the same area. I am not a fan of that. I like turning these things into fire zones and firing one of these linebackers to speed up the quarterback, speed up his process, and make him throw the ball faster, okay? And the reason why I like doing that is you've got your backside curl match defender. You can push him, right? Push him to the middle of the field. So he's running with any crosser or anything, or if this guy bangs back to the short middle of the field, you've got a guy there to be able to cover it. Because when quarterbacks break the pocket, usually what they're going to do is they're going to throw it deep down the sideline that they're running to. If they've got massive arm strength and they're a little crazy, they're going to throw it back across the middle of the field. Or if you got a guy with a rocket cannon arm like Patrick Mahomes, he might throw it all the way to the opposite side of the field. And we'll see that in this video, okay? So I think that's what they should do. But they don't do that here. They ask this guy to contain, and it doesn't end up leading to a big play. But with Mahomes, he will see this, right? These two linebackers, they're covering the same area, but they're not even covering a receiver. Mahomes will see this. He will get the ball out to a guy like Pacheco, and that could turn into a big play. So we want to speed up quarterbacks. And Mahomes is much better than Fields in reading the field and making these decisions, right? So we can see it's power pass. They pull the guard here. He drops back, doesn't like what he sees. You're asking this big monster here to try to contain him. That's not going to work. He cuts back on him, jukes him. Then he gets a nice little 8 yards, right? So gotta come up with some rules for some contain here, okay? So next play here. Again, I think this is some kind of quarters coverage, right? They're playing poach here. I'm not going to give you a dissertation on poach. If you want to know what poach is, go on my Twitter, go on my TikTok. I've broken it down a couple of times. But I think they're playing quarters here. And so this is just straight drop back pass. Fields is in the pocket. And we talked about Reddick, right? We talked about defensive ends. We talked about Reddick. He's a monster. But these guys want to run past the quarterback, okay? So now, again, you're asking Ndamukong Suh to contain the quarterback. That's just not going to happen. One of the best athletes we've ever seen at the quarterback position in Justin Fields. That's not going to work out for you. And so, again, the linebackers are not firing. We don't have linebackers firing. Down here, they're just covering grass. And then the important thing, keeping the roof on the defense. What are the DBs doing? They're not looking at the receivers, keeping the roof. And this thing ends up turning into a punt. Like, this is a punt return right here, man. That thing was flying in the air forever. If guys kept the roof on the defense, that's probably a turnover or an incomplete pass. And so we'll see it again from the tight. Okay, Reddick attacks the tackle, wants to get upfield, gets pushed out the way. Now Sue's got to try to contain. We've got linebackers here reading the field. One of them should fire. This guy should fire at Fields, make him throw the ball faster. And then this thing, I'm sorry, this thing is a duck. We've talked about Justin Fields. This thing is just in the air forever, but it doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be perfect because the defense is not out there. They're not back there covering it. Easy touchdown. All right, so one of the things that I learned about the Kansas City Chiefs this week in doing research on them, I did not realize this. They're the worst 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 team in the league, right? They don't have the ability to line up in pro, right? Shove a fullback down your throat and block and give the ball to the running back and pick up a first down. They can't do that. So I think that, as I was showing on those other 2 clips, the Eagles need to live in 2 high safeties no matter what the situation is and invite the run, because Patrick Mahomes is going to be throwing that ball. And they have a tendency on these 4th and short and 3rd and short situations to run sprint out. Okay, so they're going to try to get Mahomes on the perimeter and get him out of the pocket, as you can see here. And so he's going to look to these 2 short routes right here and want to throw the ball. But they got it covered pretty well initially. Okay, so Kelsey is supposed to be running this corner route, but Mahomes has enough time, and these 2 have been working with each other enough that Kelsey knows to break off the route and ends up being a touchdown, all right? So we can look at this from the tight angle here, and we can see they've got everything covered, okay? Mahomes is in the pocket, sprint out, right? Gets on the perimeter. Well, now that everything's covered, we can watch this linebacker here, right? Everything's covered. So he defends this route. That's right where Mahomes is looking. He's not going to throw the ball there, and then it gives time for the other defenders to get there. So now I would love it. Now I know they're not in 2 high safeties in this situation, so you can't really do it in this scenario, but I would love it if you're in 2 high safeties and this linebacker's reading that, fire. Make him make that decision now, because since he has time, he can look around and throw this ball to Kelsey, and it ends up being a touchdown, all right? So, again, we'll see another one. Same thing, quarters coverage here. We know it's quarters because the safety is reading the tight end. Tight end goes inside. He steps up, right? So definitely quarters coverage here. We're getting sprint out. And if you watch Fred Warner here, I give him a B on this play. I really like the way that he plays this. Again, this is coaching. I'm not in anybody's film room, so I don't know how they're teaching them to do it. But I like Warner getting out here and not just covering grass. He's getting downhill, but I would love it if he used his speed. And when he reads that he's going out there, just fire, run, sprint downhill, get there, speed him up, because we've got, right, Jimmy Ward here. He's in coverage. Nothing's open short, right? We've got 3 over 2 in this situation here, right? And then we've even got a backside defender here who can cover the crosser. If he attacks immediately with his amazing, incredible speed, Mahomes, look at how much time Mahomes has to just wait, be patient, set up, throw this thing, and fit it into a tight window. No, we got to speed him up and make that decision have to happen faster, okay? So again, we'll see it from the tight. You can see Warner here. He sees it immediately, but he just keeps staying out here, right? I think maybe it's that he's trying to contain or whatever, but like, use your speed and get downhill and get to that quarterback. Speed him up. All right. So I show you this one because we talked about it, right? We said this little area of the field is not going to be thrown to, okay? Talked about that before. So this is from last year when they played the Bengals in the regular season. It's a 2-minute situation, okay? So this is end of half, first half, And so they're trying to create an explosive play here. And the Bengals are getting everybody deep, right? They want to protect the deep part of the field because they know Mahomes can throw this thing. And so Mahomes breaks the pocket, right? He breaks the pocket here. He gets out. And so nobody out here is going to get the ball, right? They're not going to throw the ball over here. He's going to want to throw the ball deep down the sideline, deep in the middle of the field, or deep over here. And Mahomes is more than capable. This is from the opposite side of the field. It's a 65 air yard throw. Man. And Tyreek Hill just drops it. He drops that ball. He put it on him. That was a money pass. So this is why it's so important to keep the roof on the defense. Like this safety, he's firing. I don't know what he's looking at. Get deep. Get back. Protect the deep part of the field when he breaks the pocket, DBs. You guys don't need to step up. I think that the linebackers in the underneath coverage should. Okay? So I show you this one because we've seen this play from a number of strong arm quarterbacks. We've seen Justin Herbert make this throw. We've seen Stafford make this throw. We've seen probably Aaron Rodgers made this throw a number of times in his career. It's this little half roll, okay? And then throw to the opposite side of the field. I'm just showing you guys. I mean, I know you know Mahomes has arm strength, but I'm just showing you, you got to protect every blade of grass. So you can see here, Valdez-Scantling, he runs this little post corner route, and Mahomes just drops it in the bucket. That's an incredible throw, an incredible play right there. So that's just to show you, got to defend the entire field. So here we go, Mahomes, little half roll, bang. Drops that thing in between three defenders. That's what happens when you have a legendary quarterback, okay? So now we're going to step into VR, and we're going to talk through a few things here just to see how I think that the Eagles should defend this thing, okay? So if Mahomes breaks the pocket and goes this way, I think this linebacker should fire, these guys should get deep, and the backside linebacker should push for any crossers. Same thing over here, right? So the field side where you have this nickel defender here, right? So if he breaks a pocket this way, fire this guy downhill, push this backside linebacker, have this guy sit in the flat, and then get these guys deep. Read the routes. So the corner can read the routes to his side, but the safety's definitely got to get deep, okay? So we're going to see this from a bird's eye view here, all right? What happens when you don't speed up Patrick Mahomes, okay? So let's say, Hargrave here just blows up Trey Smith, knocks him down, right? And Mahomes, it's almost like he's got a sixth sense. He can feel when that type of stuff happens. So he breaks the pocket, right? But this guy gets free here. Sweat gets free, but he gives him a move, gets out of the pocket, and he's got all this space to look and see and work with because this linebacker here is trying to hunt up crossers. Well, that gives Mahomes the ability to fire one deep, and he'll get the ball into the hands of Valdez-Scantling. So now we're going to step into Mahomes' perspective, and this is what I want the Eagles, or what I would want a defense to do. And I think the Chiefs should do this with Hurts as well, right? So this is what you should do. This is what the quarterback should see in these situations, right? So, okay, he sees his linemen get destroyed. So he's trying to get outside, give Sweat this move, but out the corner of his eye, he can see the linebacker firing. He's in his face. He doesn't have any time. Look, nobody's open quite yet, right? Nobody's open, so he's got to throw the ball away, okay? That is what I think that the Eagles defense needs to do with Patrick Mahomes. Those are the rules that they need to have if he's going to break the pocket. So I think if they do that, they'll be able to have a modicum of success. You're never going to stop Patrick Mahomes. You're only going to hope to contain him, all right? So that's it for this video, and I'll see you in maybe the next one on the Super Bowl or afterwards talking about it, breaking down who the eventual champion is. So you know what it is. It's Coach Williams, Ball Hawks. We fly. I'm out. Peace.